Ve'ela Mishpatim. And these are the Mishpatim. And these are the Mishpatim. Says Rashi. Why the vav? Why the and? These were also given at Sinai. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu brought down with him when he spent his 40 days and 40 nights in heaven. The Mishpatim are divine. There's a parallel to this. Pirkei Avos, Masechta Avos. Which would seem to be a collection, I guess, of self-help, personal growth. It begins, Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai. Umasar Yeshua L'Zakenim. These are divine. These are divine. See, these are not just the ideas of wise men. They're divine and therefore absolute. This first letter of the parsha is perhaps the most important one in the entire parsha. The divinity of morality. Yes, there's absolute right and wrong. There is absolute truth. Even in ideas that we naturally have something to say about. Basic principles about life, society. No. It's divine. It is absolute. How does one study Mishpatim? If the Torah says something, if the Torah tells us that something is moral, the Torah tells us something is immoral, and we intuit otherwise, what's the answer? Who's right? You have a choice. You either misunderstood the Torah, or there's something wrong with the way you're reading your intuition. Because this is divine. The study of Seder Nashim and Ezekin in Shas is what the yeshivas spend their years learning. Because more than any other part of Shas, where we really don't have much of an opinion of our own, in these areas we do have our own understanding. and then you read what God has to say, and you got to work through it. In fact, the system of learning in yeshivas generally is, I'm about to start a sugya and look for trouble. I'm looking for what doesn't make sense to me. For what purpose? Solving the riddle. And it goes in either of two directions. Getting right shot, as they call it. What does it really say? Read it carefully. Or start thinking differently. The way we study Torah is not with arrogance, judging God. If he doesn't live to our standards, either he doesn't exist, something's wrong, don't want any part of it. No. If God said so, this is true. But then again, God gave me a brain. And above all, he programmed my brain. And you know what that program is? It's called the neshama. The source within us for right and wrong, for what makes sense. What is it in you that says this does make sense and this doesn't? You know, our brain cells are just bytes. They hold information, they can access information. But in determining right, wrong, yes, it makes sense, no, it doesn't, it's the neshama that does that. So our intuition is divine. And so is the Torah. And they've got to match. The study of Torah is matching up whatever you're learning with your intuition by either realizing that if you read well, it doesn't say what you thought it did, or I am now learning to think differently. If I'm open to considering it, I'll realize that there's a truth and depth that I missed, that what I considered intuitive was superficial. It was simplistic, populistic. There's so many things that feel right until you think about them. So much of what the world takes for granted today makes no sense once you start dissecting it. In Torah is the exact opposite. The study of Torah is not indoctrination. The study of Torah is challenging every word, questioning every letter, like the Vav at the beginning of the parsha. Asking, does this make sense? The truth of the matter is, who loves Torah more? Who respects Torah more? than we who sit there questioning every letter. Because it's divine. It's deep. It's profound. It's solid to the very end. Is the antithesis of the way the world thinks, where everything is quick, superficial, sounds good, feels good. On the contrary, the study of Torah is agada kasha. The study of Torah is 1 second it doesn't make sense. What are we doing all day in Yeshiva? Questioning, finding problems. Superficially, a lot of this stuff sounds a bit weird. Till you dig deep. Till you realize what it's saying and why it's so profound. Mishpatim are divine. Pirkei Avos is divine. No, it's not self-help written by contemporary who runs seminars and makes a lot of money. This is divine. The world is filled with so many people that arrogantly read the Bible, if they bother, superficially, and have all sorts of problems. Yet they accept the world's thinking, which is so shallow and so off. So listen, take your Torah seriously, take your learning seriously, and above all, never stop questioning until it sits well. You haven't done your job. Until it sits well, you either don't know Pshat in the Gemara, or you haven't learned to think straight. It's one or the other. And in the Beis Medrash, you learn to do both. To accurately read Torah and to learn how to think. Not be superficial in your reading of Torah and not be superficial in the way you think yourself. So that when you intuit, you're really tuning into your soul and not just parroting the philosophy of the day. Gemara tells us, stay away from minus, from apikorsis, from atheism, more than from idolatry. Because minus is mashchi, it draws. It sounds so good until you think about it. It sounds so good. This is the antithesis of Torah. Torah doesn't sound so good. It doesn't sound so good. When you read it literally, it doesn't go. But if you only think into contemporary thinking, you realize that it is so tied up in contradictions. There's no absolute truth, but if you say there is, you're a fascist. You have to respect everyone's right to believe in anything. except for the right to say there's absolute truth. There's no right and wrong, but you're wrong. But it makes so many people feel good. And look, everyone's bought into it. And they can't hear otherwise. Torah doesn't sound so good. It's so easy to pick at it and say, well, couldn't be divine. It's not superficial at all. It's no coincidence that the one Hashem chose to be the Sarser, as it's called, the middleman between Hashem and us in receiving Torah, is Moshe the Aral Sfosayim. He had a speech impairment. So he was impaired. What happened? Why does the Torah do that? Torah was not given us by a salesman. Torah is not about sales. It doesn't sound so good. Torah is about truth. It's about asking questions. It's about thinking deeply. It's working hard. And learning to think in ways that you didn't before. So the study of Torah is, yes, aligning your brain with the truth of the Creator. It's hard work, but it's so rewarding. And ultimately, what you arrive at is truth, because it's divine. Ve'ele. Above, one letter says it all. It's divine. Get it straight. It's for us to understand. It's for us to ask questions. It's up to us to delve deeply into it. Our job is not to sit there and be critical. It's divine. It's very easy to be critical of. It's so much more difficult to really understand it and grow and become great. So learn. And don't be superficial. Learn and ask every question. And grow. And be great. And the more you love Torah, the more you want every Jew to experience this. So bring your friends.